Okay, as you know, yesterday I put up a video, a picture about four versions of the Obi-Wan. So today I'm going to be doing the demo for the four of them and show you the differences. Okay, and before I go in depth, I'm just going to quickly show you what they are. Okay, so now when we talk about Obi-Wans, now Obi-Wan basically have two different saber models. One is during the first trilogy, episode 1 to 3. We're not talking about the 4 to 6. The episode 1 to 3, when Obi-Wan was an apprentice to Qui-Gon Jinn, he was having this apprentice Obi-Wan hilt. Okay, so today we are actually not going to talk about this. We're actually going to talk about the saber that Obi-Wan has in the episode 4 to 6, which is the second trilogy, depending on how you how you line up the trilogy. So 4, 5, 6 actually come first, then followed by 1, 2, 3. So this one is more of the second trilogy, 4 to 6 episode. Okay, where Obi-Wan has changed the saber to this model, the thin neck version of the model. Okay, so today we're going to go through the 4 versions of this. Okay, so just very quickly, now this one is the K4 model. Okay, sold by Korbanth and I think the custom saber shop, those kind of things. Okay, so this is the version 1 of the K4. Okay, and this one has been weathered. Actually, it doesn't come like this. This one has been weathered, the whole thing from the emitter. So if you compare the new version as to the weathered version, see the entire thing from the emitter to the brass here to the booster section. This is a booster section. Everything all has been weathered. This is the tab knob, the knob that they use for the has been weathered as well. Although it's relatively shiny like what it should be in the movie. Okay, there are some slight weathering there. So this is the K4 version 1. Okay, later as we go into the internals, you will see the difference between the version 1 and the version 2. So which is version 2? This is version 2. Okay, this one internally is different. Externally is virtually identical. It's almost very different, very difficult to see any differences between them. There are, however, there are there are some differences, but very minute. Okay, so this is the K4 version 2. Okay, I think I need to swap the clamp the other way around. Okay, and besides that, I have also installed using MHS parts. MHS, if you don't know, stands for Modular Hilt System. This is by the Custom Saber Shop, where they sell different parts. So from the different parts, I combine it to look something like a Obi-Wan thin neck. However, this neck is not that thin. Okay, of course it's there for a purpose as well. Okay, but the look is not accurate. However, it's got that inspired by Obi-Wan hilt kind of a look. Okay, this is another one which is also made from MHS parts. This one is weathered. This one is not weathered. This one has got a different lower section. It's got a rib section which is more accurate. Okay, and it's got a slightly thinner choke here as compared to the K4. Okay, just a quick overview. Later I'll go into this in more detail. Okay, this is another version, a modern interpretation inspired model by the Obi-Wan. Okay, so we'll go into this more in depth. Okay, we are back. I got to bring the camera closer so you can see close up the parts that we're going to show you. Okay, so this is the Obi-Wan Sabre. Okay, and this one actually has got a lot of parts that come from different parts from other things. I think basically the Star Wars group, basically what they did was they get parts from different places, different things, and then put it together to form the lightsaber. Now, for instance, this is actually the hot sink tap, you know, the water sink tap from the Armitage Shanks model. Okay, so this is actually what you use to turn the tap on and off. Okay, this bottom part here, what we call the booster, is actually from the machine guns that is used by these aircraft machine guns. At the end of the barrel, they have this thing here to suppress the flash. It's called the flash suppressor. So this is the part that's taken from a machine gun, the flash booster. Okay, and then this part here is what we call the Graflex. The Graflex is the flash that they use. This is the clamp, okay, which they put on here as well. That's the clamp. Now this part here, the bubble strip here, is actually from a calculator, a Texas Instrument calculator. This is the activator switch inside the calculator itself. They took that part. Now this part here, this is actually a grenade, you know, a bomb grenade. Okay, but this grenade is different. This part here is actually inserted into a rifle where the soldier used to shoot, and then this thing will fly off, and then it will bomb. So this is actually part of a grenade that is inserted into a rifle. Okay, now the emitter here, this is actually part of the Rolls-Royce engines, jet engines. I think it's called the balance tube. Okay, so they use this part here to become the emitter. So from all these different parts, they put it together to make the Obi-Wan lightsaber. Okay, of course in the movie, all the plasma rays, everything is all computer generated, like it's not real. Okay, so for us, we use a light tube to light it up. Okay, so this is we call it, the model is K4, and this is the version 1 of the K4. Okay, so let me just show you how to operate this. First, in order to get this started, we need to take out the kill key. Now this thing is installed by me. As you can see, even though this thing is so big, quite huge, but the internal diameter is really very small. It's only 1/7 of an inch, and so therefore the speaker is very small. The chassis, everything is very small. Okay, so this is the recharge port. Things which I installed all have got recharge port. If the ones that we buy from elsewhere, it depends on the person who installed it, whether there is recharge port or not. But the ones that I install all have recharge port. Recharge port is to just plug in the charger, and then you can charge without having to take out the battery. As you can see, in this case, the battery resides inside here. The battery resides inside here. The board resides here. Okay, so there is no way for you to be able to get into the battery and take it out. The battery's diameter is about the same as the diameter of this granite section here, the internal diameter. So once the battery is inside there, it's more or less stuck inside there. You can only charge it through here. Okay, so you pull this out.
You do have a great many things to explain.
So obviously for the speaker this small, the volume will not be very loud lah. But when we put it inside here, it will help to magnify the sound a bit because of what we call the resonance chamber. Okay, this is where the board is. Okay, I'd rather not put it out. You can actually unscrew this one to reveal the board as well. Okay, so this is the board. Okay, this is if you want to add sound or you want to change the programming of config, all you have to do is just lift this thing up. Just leave the board, tilt it up, then you can plug in your micro USB or take out the SD card, which is just underneath underneath this micro SD port, micro USB port. Okay, let's put this back. Okay, so we have two switches here. One is a power and one is the auxiliary button. Now I'm not going to put a blade inside here because number one, there's limited space. Number two, all of them have the same kind of a programming that I've done for all the 4 of them. So the last one, I'm going to show you the one with the blade. So for now, I'm just going to show it to you without the blade. Okay. Now, this one comes with NeoPixel. So NeoPixel, there's it doesn't have what do you call it? It doesn't have a LED inside. It have a connector. The blade we use is NeoPixel, so it's connected to it. The LED is actually inside the blade itself. However, as you can see, the emitter is very thin. So this part here, certain part here have to be taken up by the connector height as well. See, that's got wiring, got pogo pins, everything inside. So the balance of the height that is left for the blade is actually very little only. Maybe at the very most is the height of my finger here. That's the very most that the blade can go into this emitter. As you can see, is just right there. It's very, very shallow. So for this type of saber, you can put the blade in, you can tighten it, it will stay there, but don't expect to do any heavy dueling or anything like that. If you want to bring it around for parade, bring it down for cosplay, for swinging around, not a problem. But if you want to hit, I think it's not secure enough for that kind of contact. Okay, so how do you know which one is power, which one is auxiliary? Very simple. If you press it, it turns on, that's the power. Then the other one is the auxiliary. If you press it, it doesn't turn on, that's the auxiliary switch. So the other must be the power switch. Let's turn this on. So this is the power, this is the auxiliary. Okay, so the power turns on. So this one has been installed with smooth swing. So you can see the response is fantastic. Auxiliary for blaster blocks, for blade lockups. Okay, later I will show you more of the blade effects, because now you can only hear the sound but you can't see it. Okay, and to off, hold it down until it turns off. So there are many presets with them, many fonts. I'll run through some of them. They are actually basically all the same. Same for all the 4 versions. Okay, this is another font.
Kylo Ren.
This Kylo Ren font. Savage.
The Dark Order.
The Dark Order.
Luke Skywalker.
Okay, this is
Only
Hello.
a Sith deals in absolutes.
This is Obi-Wan, one of
I will do what I must.
the 2 Obi-Wan's fonts that installed here.
The balance.
This is Rey.
He's been working on that thing for weeks.
There's
What kind
Ezra.
of lightsaber could he possibly build with the junk we have laying around? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This is the older Obi-Wan Kenobi font. Okay.
Welcome, young Skywalker.
This is Daddy Issues. He's talking about Luke Skywalker. This one is the Emperor's font. Sidious.
That lightsaber was Luke's.
This one is Graflex. I think this is Hello.
Something inside me has always been there.
This one is also another of the Graflex font.
Lord Vader.
This is Vader's font. Okay, this one is I can't remember. I think this is it Balance?
Kylo Ren.
Okay, so we have gone one round already. Okay, and each preset has got a different blade effect. It's got a different sound font, and even different sound font, each one have got what we call different music backing tracks. So to activate the music backing track, press 2 seconds. Okay, I think that one is the what do you call it, the sound effect. Press I think not the auxiliary button, that is to go into the volume menu. To go to the volume menu, press and hold for 2 seconds. Then you can increase or reduce the volume. Okay, this to increase the volume. That's the maximum volume. Okay, so get out the volume menu.
4.10 volts.
If you hold down while it's auxiliary button for a few seconds, it will also tell you how much battery, how much voltage is in the battery. Okay, so to play the backing track, we press the power button for about 2 seconds. So this is the backing track, and when the backing track is running, you can also turn on the sound as well. I think I was probably in the color changing mode. Wait, okay. Music track. So you can also have the sound font going while the music is going on. You can also have the effects as well while the music is going on and while the sound font is going on. Let me turn this off. Off. Okay.
The Dark Order.
Okay, so you cannot expect a very loud sound if the speaker is very small, if the chassis is very small, if the internal thing is very small, you can only fit a very small speaker. Okay, so turn this off. Okay, now that brings us to the next one, which is the K4. Now the K4, this one is also sold by Korbanth. This is the version 2, the updated version of this. So they must have tried to install that one. I know that there are certain limitations because of the size of the internal, so they have what do you call it, improved on the internal diameter to make this even larger than before. Okay, this is even bigger, but still a lot of problem is not solved. Why? Because the way this is not installed by me, this is installed by the maker of the saber itself. So this one has got no access to the board whatsoever. Okay, this one you can only get down the battery. Because there is no recharge port, you have to remove the battery to be charged and then put it back. So therefore they put the battery here instead of putting it here. They feel that it's not necessary for you to what do you call it, to mess around with the board and everything, so they put it underneath the clamp. So can you still remove the clamp? Yes, just a little bit more work you got to do. Remove all these switches here, then after that carefully removed out, then only you can access the board. Okay, but this is inside here. It takes a little bit much more work to get to the board for upgrading of the config file, to change sound fonts and those kind of things. It's got a bit more work because you got to basically remove this whole section here. Okay, otherwise normally you only have the access to the battery, which you need to take out to charge and then put it back. Okay, but now you can see that now the internal section is much bigger, so you can even fit a battery as well as a battery holder, the chassis itself. Okay, the other one you cannot even fit because the size is only about the size of the battery itself. Okay, so this is the K2 version. It's slightly bigger internally. Externally it looks the same, except that this is the non-weathered version. Okay,
Luke Skywalker.
so this is the auxiliary button, this is the power button. So despite the fact that this is a bit bigger, much bigger, but the volume is still very small, not that big. Why? I've increased the volume. The original programming come from the seller is actually set at 1000, which is very low. So I've increased this to 1008. That's about what the speaker can handle. If it goes much higher, eventually one day your speaker may be unstable. Okay? So despite that, you see the volume is not very big, although the size of the speaker is a little bit bigger. Why? Because basically you see there is no holes here. There are a little bit tiny slits here around, very small, but basically most of the sound only comes out from these two holes here. So it's not really a lot of sound coming out from there. So the sound is not great because of the inherent design. Okay, and This one is fitted with a new pixel blade plug. Okay, there's also one for this as well. Okay, I didn't want to put it because I want to show you how deep how shallow actually the pins are. So this one and this one is the same emitter, so basically the depth of the blade is the same as that one. So basically it's very little in terms of depth. Okay, so this is also fitted with NeoPixel smooth swing fonts. Okay, and there's also ability to change the colors for each preset. Some presets have got color changing, some presets don't have. Okay, this is the auxiliary button where you get your blade lockup, blaster blocks. This is force lightning. Later I'll show you how it all looks like. Okay. This is the clean version, non-weathered. This is the K4 version 2. Off, turn. Okay, all these, the one that originally come from the manufacturer, the seller itself, actually has got a very basic Profi board, the programming that comes standard with the board. So those are very basic and very soft lah. Basically, there's nothing, no fancy programming inside the Profi board itself. So what I did was, whenever I get any of these hilts, the first thing I will do is that I will reprogram the whole thing, so that it includes a lot of nice presets, a lot of fancy animation, some fonts, and then a lot of effects, color changing, and those kind of things. Okay. Okay, so the K4 V2. Okay, so the next one, this is the MHS modified Obi-Wan. It's inspired by this Obi-Wan, but there are some significant differences. Okay, first of all, this one is weathered. Okay, this is weathered by me. It's also installed by me. So there will be some inherent differences between this and that. Okay, first of all, this is there is no switch here, not like the other ones. Okay, so you have a smoother grip here. You will not be accidentally pressing any buttons here. In the accident, you can hold it more. It's more ergonomic. So where are the switches? The switches are here and here. Can you see? So there are two of them. Now, as you know, the ones that is installed by me all comes with kill key. So you cannot accidentally press it and then it will start or anything like that. You have to take out the kill key. So remove the pommel. Okay, so this is the kill key. Pull out the kill key. So the one that is installed by me has got a slightly bigger speaker. I have chosen to use this speaker because of the limitation of the chassis itself. I got this chassis for a long time ago. I didn't do anything about it. I just left it inside there. So in order to use this chassis, this is the only speaker I can fit. This is not the usual speaker that I use. So this speaker is a bit much softer than usual, but still is better than the other two that we heard just now. Okay, so this is the kill key, and also the recharge port where you recharge, and this is the board. Okay, so put the pommel back. Okay, so that's the power button. As you can see, it's a bit louder than those. Okay, much clearer the sound. Okay, this one also comes with a blade plug. Okay, let me just turn this off to show you how deep is the blade socket. That's important because those sockets just are at the most maximum deep depth is about the height of my finger. That's about all. So this one has got a much deeper So this is how much the blade will go inside into the emitter. So of course, if you compare this emitter to this emitter is only got so little. This one can go all the way up to, from here up to here. So this is a much deeper blade. So this is more secure. Okay, so even if you hit it around, you swing it around, even if you hit it a little bit, basically it's much more secure than the other one as well. Okay, and this one, because of the design, we can even fit a thumb screw, so we will not have to take what do you call it, an Allen key, in order to just take out and remove the blade and everything. Okay, and this one is also much more ergonomic. Okay, despite it still have this clamp here, okay, which of course, yes, it still affects the handling a bit, but it's still much better than the original. The look is still quite similar. Okay, I've used a groove part instead of the rib part, but it's got the similar look. Okay, this part has been weathered as well. It's the neck is slightly thinner, but not as extreme as the grenade section. Okay, so let's hear the sound. Let's turn it off. So everything is controlled by holding here. There are two switches here, one for your forefinger, the other one for your thumb. So one is a power, the other one is a auxiliary switch. Okay.
Kylo Ren.
So of course, as you can see, the sound is much nicer, louder, and the fonts and everything come more alive as compared to the other one. Why? Because simply because the internal is bigger, the speaker is bigger, so a lot more sound can come out. Okay, let's switch this off. Play a music. I think I pressed it a bit too long. I was pressing the auxiliary button. So while the music is going on, you can still play your sound. Let me put this back. Okay, so this one still have the sync knob, the Emitter sync knob, the booster section, the Graflex clamp. This one is this section here is trying to imitate the grenade section, but this is a rib section instead of a rib section. Okay, so therefore it's only grooved, not ripped. Okay, and the neck of course is thicker. Why? Because it to allow the tube to go inside further, so that there is a better strength for the saber. Okay, so this is a modified Obi-Wan K4, and not Obi-Wan model, but it's a modified using the MHS parts to make up this Obi-Wan Sabre. Okay. Okay, next one. This is another inspired model by the other one just now. So it's got a choke, which is a bit thinner than the one just now, and it's got a rib section instead of a groove section. So there's a split in the middle here, all this to follow the one that is being used by the grenade. Okay, but here the main difference is there is no Graflex clamp here. Okay, instead we just use this this kind of thing to simulate the kind of look. Why? Because now it's much easier, much more comfortable to hold, and you don't have some big lump here that blocks your hand. Okay, so this is actually not an accurate model, it's just an inspired model on that model, on the Obi-Wan model. Okay, even the pommel here I've used a different one. Okay, this is a slimmer, less looking like a tab, but is also has got that same inspired look as well, but a modern interpretation. Okay, so this one we have to remove the kill key as well. This one is also installed by me. Basically all three installed by me except for the K4 V2. So those installed by me, there's always a recharge port as well as a kill key to stop the power when the saber is not in use. So what happens if there's no kill key? If you have no kill key, the power will continue to drain. So after some time, the batteries, basically all the voltage is gone. You have to recharge the battery before you can use. So with a kill key inside, it will stop basically almost all the battery drain. The battery will still, even though if it's not connected, over time it will still drop slowly, but the rate is much slower compared to the one which is connected to a circuit. Okay, so this battery here will last much longer when not in use as compared to the one without a kill key. Okay, and of course the most important part is the recharge, the ease of recharge. You can just plug a cable, just charge it without having to remove the battery, charge it and then put in. So when you take out and remove too many times, sometimes there's a danger of putting in the battery with the wrong side. So if you put in the battery with the wrong side, sometimes you can destroy certain parts in the board, you see. Okay, or if not the board, sometimes if the board is protected, other things which is attached to it, let's say like the LEDs or whatever, it can also be burned as well. So the recharge port is actually a much safer way, okay, to get the saber installed. Okay, so let's get this on. So where is the switch? The switch is also here, or it's hidden. It's basically almost invisible. If I don't show it to you, it's basically invisible. So basically there is nothing here to stop your grip of your hand. And I've also installed a cover tech knob here, which is not possible for those. Okay, so let's see. So this one also has got a blade plug inside, auxiliary button, and then this one is the power button. Change font.
Kylo Ren.
And if you notice, this sound is actually louder than all the other three. This one has got a bass speaker, which is actually a bit louder than the other one I showed you just now. This is not my loudest speaker. This is still a 2-watt speaker. Okay, my loudest one is a 5-watt speaker, but however, this is still very loud. So I'm going to put in a blade to show you this one. So how deep is the blade depth? So the blade depth is still very, this is much more. This is at least 4 times more than the other one, more than the K4s. Okay, so this one has got a much more secure connection. And for all these emitters, we also have a thumb screw. We don't need to have a Allen key in order to turn it. So basically, you know, depending on different models and what you're going for, there are pros and cons. If you want accuracy, you have to go for that. Of course, you sacrifice some things. Some of them like got no recharge port. Some of them have got very low depth of the blade. You know, you have to use an Allen key or something like that in order to screw it. So those are some of the compromises you have to make if you want a very accurate model. Or if you go for an inspired model, you can actually have more convenience and usability, but of course you sacrifice on the looks. Okay, so there's no perfect answer to everything, but there are some compromises. Okay. Okay, so let's show you some of the blade effects and those kind of things.
The Dark Order.
Luke Skywalker.
I need a weapon.
Only a Sith deals in
So this is a young Obi-Wan.
I will do what I must.
Okay, so this is NeoPixel. The blade lights up. What they call it? It goes up and come down. Okay, one more time. Okay, this one has been set to quite a fast. Okay, fast ignition. Of course, smooth swing. Smooth swing allows you to a very realistic sounding looking swing sound. It follows your movement exactly. So when you do blaster block, you will see that the blade, certain section of it will light up. Okay, then we also have what we call blaster blocks. Okay. After the blaster block, they have the post block where the blade will go like that. One more time. Look at the blade after it turns off. Okay, so that's the post. So there's a change. I've accidentally changed the color. By pressing the button, the power and the auxiliary at the same time, you can actually change the color. Okay. So as you move, then it will change. So this one has got this Obi-Wan has got the color change of 2-3 type of changing the effects as well as the color. So to set it, let me just okay, once you hear the sound, which means that the color is set. So you have to press the power and the auxiliary at the right sequence in order for it to set the color. So sometimes if you do it 1-2 times, it's not successful, you're going to retry again. Okay, so we have shown you the blaster blocks, okay, and also the blade lockup. Okay, so there's another one called the force lightning lockup, which we hold the power button and then we hit. So I don't know whether you can see the force lightning will actually move up and down the blade itself. Okay, can you see that? Okay, so that's a force lightning. Okay, where you hold the power button and then you hit the blade to activate. Turn this off. So if you hold the auxiliary for about 2-3 seconds, 1, 2. Now it gives you a sound to tell you you're actually into the volume menu. If you were to press the auxiliary button, your volume will go down by 10% each time. Okay, if you press the power button, it will go up until you get a different sound, which means now it's back to maximum sound. So after that, you press your auxiliary button 2 seconds, turn it to confirm the volume level. So here you can actually have about 10 levels of volume to play with. So if you want to change the different volume, just use the auxiliary button. The other one is the hold the volume auxiliary button for a long time. You get it will tell you the voltage of the blade. Okay, let's move on to the next preset. Okay, this is the balance. Now all the 4 sabers here have the same programming, same effects and same everything. Okay. Very aggressive, huh? think I've just adjusted the volume to maximum. That's why. Okay, next one.
He's been working on that thing for weeks.
Just
What
now it
kind of
wasn't in
lightsaber
maximum.
could he possibly build with the junk we have laying around? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, this is the older Obi-Wan Kenobi sound font.
Welcome, young Skywalker.
This is Daddy Issues. This is basically a CFX font, but converted to be used by Profi. Okay. This is Sidious Emperor font.
That lightsaber was Luke's.
This is a sparkle font, color changing with raindrop effects. We call it a sparkle. Okay. So the blade lockup is red instead of having a white. This one, the whole thing is red. Next one.
Low battery.
Basically tells me my battery is already low. Okay, anyway.
Low battery.
So that's just an announcement of the battery is low.
Low battery.
So
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake.
so this is the rainbow blade. Okay.
Lord Vader.
This is Vader. This one has got an unstable blade. If you look into the mirror, the glass there, you can actually see it's actually unstable. Of course, smooth swing. Let's hear the music for this preset. This is basically the hallway scene. You know, Rogue One. At the end of it, when they were trying to get the disc away, this is where Vader boarded the ship, and this is the scene from the hallway. Just before he ignited his blade. Okay. So the sound for this font is also exactly from that movie as well, because it's taken from there. Okay, so you have the same kind of a blaster blocks. Okay, next one.
Kylo Ren.
I think we have come to no battery already here. So I have to turn it off. Okay, so basically you get the idea of the 4 different versions I've shown you just now. All are Obi-Wan, some are more accurate, some are not accurate. There'll be some compromises in terms of the design, and of course the internal installation is also different. The programming is the same. Okay, some have got recharge port, some do not have recharge port, some has got bigger, so therefore I can put in a bigger speaker, got nicer, bigger sound. Okay, all of the presets, preset means there is a sound font, there is a blade effect, plus there is also a backing track. So each preset have got that three. It's got a different animation, blade animation. It's got a different sound font. It's got the music backing track as well. Okay. The other ability is it's able to color change. Okay. Let me show you the color change feature. Okay.
The Dark Order.
Luke Skywalker. Only a...
He's been working on Obi-Wan. Welcome, Yang.
That lightsaber. Something.
Lord Vader. Kylo Ren.
Okay, once you hear the sound, which means it's gone to color changing mode. So if you were to swing it, now it changes to orange. So now it's yellow, green, blue. This one is dark blue, purple. This one is light purple. Now it's a different type of purple. This is old. This is red. This is orange. So now we are back to the orange. So we need to set it back again. Press the power and the auxiliary. Okay, so once you hear the sound, which means it's set already. So now when you move it, it's still in orange. So that's the color changing feature. And of course, just now I've also shown you the volume. Let me just turn this off again. Okay, so those are some of the features of the different saber. All of them have the same kind of features. Okay, so basically I think I've overshot quite some time already for the video. So if there's any question, please message me to ask me. Okay, thank you.